So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are continuing with the throwback rebuilds in the LeBron era, and today we have the Boston Celtics. So the LeBron era starts at the beginning of the 2010-2011 NBA season, meaning the Celtics had just come off a finals appearance in a loss to Kobe Bryant in the Los Angeles Lakers. So they won it in 2008 against the Lakers, lost it in 2010, and this core is relatively old. The big four here of Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Rajon Rondo, 3 out of the 4 of those guys are 30 plus years old. So we do not know what the rest of this video is going to look like today, but I would like to get a couple of these guys at least one more championship. As a whole, though, my goal is definitely much more focused to getting the Celtics another championship. We'll get into it a little bit more and go over the roster entirely in just a second, but before we do, as always, you guys have any other video ideas, make sure to let me know down below in the comments section. We've found a really good kind of schedule lately, in my opinion. Love doing the trading every player rebuilds and then the historic rebuilds, mixing a few challenges. So anything you guys got, let me know down below in the comments section. And I am definitely looking forward to today's video. Celtics, my favorite team. I'm sure many of you know this. But yeah, man, let's get into it. We're going to go ahead and talk about this roster a little bit. As I mentioned, it is definitely an aging roster. So let's just, I guess, jump into it. And we can start out here at the point guard spot with Rajon Rondo. He's 24 years old, so he's not really in that older generation, but he's still really good, and he did win a championship with the Celtics. So he's currently on a 5-year, $55 million contract, which is very, very nice. It looks very, very pretty to my eyes. So I'm very happy to have him here in all likelihood. He's only 24. We'll probably be here the entire video. We have 26-year-old Nate Robinson, who I didn't think would only be 26 at this point. I thought he was a little bit older, I'm not going to lie. But I guess we are back many, many years. So, Nate Robinson, for me, he's a solid option as a backup point guard. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's a significant contributor to this team, because in all likelihood, he probably will not be. But we'll see. Shooting guard spot, Ray Allen. I don't know. Did Ray Allen have one more year after this in Boston? Because I know he was on the team. Yeah, he had 2 years, and then he left in free agency because he was on that 2014 Heat championship. You might obviously know that. Ray Allen and the Celtics is an interesting relationship. It's been mended over the years, but a lot of people were pissed when he departed for LeBron and Dwayne Wade and the rest of the Miami Heat. I get it. I don't think there was really that much reason to be that pissed off. I mean, he was really old, but still one of, if not the best shooter of all time. He's not the best shooter. Steph Curry is, but you know what I'm saying. Marquise Daniels is here. He's 29, could be a solid role piece. Von Wafer, just an all-time name. I love it. And then I don't think Fred Owens is a real person. Small forward spot, we got the truth, Mr. Paul Pierce himself, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, player in NBA history. I don't really want to trade Paul Pierce, but he is 33 years old. We all very well know how 2K regression works. I think we're very familiar with that concept at this point in time. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm not trading any of the big 3 in year 1, but maybe after that, especially because they all are on multi-year contracts. Matt Hill, not really familiar with his game. And then I actually was getting confused for a second because I saw Vanderway, and I thought it was originally Kiki Van, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Power forward spot, Kevin Garnett, one of the best power forwards in NBA history. He's unfortunately 34 years old. He's on a 2-year, $40 million contract right now. Again, we'll see what direction we want to go with the big ticket. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones we could go. If he doesn't end up regressing like crazy, maybe we keep him. He has a really good year. Maybe we keep him. He sucks. Maybe we trade. I don't know. We'll see. Jermaine O'Neal here as well, 32. Not a bad backup power forward option for me. We have Glenn Big Baby Davis here, and then I don't think Devin Mitchell's a real person. Then the center spot, the greatest meme in NBA Twitter history, Celtic Shaq. Yeah, I know for a fact Shaq retires at the end of year 1. I'm just going to go ahead and trade him. Nothing against Shaquille O'Neal, but at this point, there's 38-year-old Shaq is not going to be my starting center. And then we have Kendrick Perkins here as well. So a couple different avenues we can explore with this team right now, but we definitely have at least one trade coming. We have found a trade, and it is going to come with the Milwaukee Bucks. We are clearly not doing this trade to pick up Lamont Martin. I'm not trying to disrespect Lamont Martin if he's a real person, but the first-round pick that is going to be top 5 protected in this year's draft could end up being pretty valuable. So Celtic Shaq, 38 years old, I gotta move him. So many of you are probably asking yourself, well, what are you doing with the center position? And it's actually relatively simple. I just moved Glenn Big Baby Davis to the center spot. Now, he is only 6'9", so there's definitely something to figure out whether I want to start him or Perkins. I mean, again, neither of these guys were like elite NBA centers at any point in their career. I'm not saying they were bad, but neither of them were like top tier, top echelon centers in the league. So we'll figure it out at some point. I mean, I don't really have a preference. Similar age, similar overall, similar money even. So there's really no deciding factor in that. I'll probably see who the game wants me to start. And then it also does allow us to go ahead and just clear up the backup power forward spot because it was Jermaine O'Neal and Davis both there. So, for year 1, I don't know if we're a serious championship contender. I might have one more trade if I want to maybe bolster that backup small forward spot, but if not, I'll just see you guys with the rotation. We are making one more trade, and it's going to come with the San Antonio Spurs. We're sending them Von Wafer and Matt Hill for Garrett Temple and a 2012 first-round pick. So the pick's probably not going to be super valuable. I mean, the San Antonio Spurs were very, very good throughout this era, but we're picking up a 24-year-old Garrett Temple. He's going to be my new backup small forward. Maybe there's just a little bit more potential there. So he is only on a one-year deal. I know he's expiring. It is relatively rare that I trade for expiring contracts, but he's going to be the backup to Paul Pierce. He actually jumped up to a 74 overall, and we get the first-round pick. I think that's a pretty successful final trade. So other than that, we're ready to go here for year one. I don't know if this team is, again, in the kind of top tiers of contenders. I mean, clearly there's a lot of talent here. Hypothetically, everybody's in their prime. We're probably the best team ever. So let's set the rotation here for year one. We are officially ready to kick off year one here in Boston. This team on paper looks immensely talented, and I'm really excited about the possibilities of what this first year can be here. Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Kendrick Perkins. Game wanted me to start Perkins over Davis. I have really no preference either way. It's not a big deal. There's not much of a difference there. This power forward spot off the bench, also my sixth-man spot, is going to be led by Jermaine O'Neal. Now, I don't typically have big men as sixth men. Here's one of those cases, though. I don't think it's the end of the world. I really don't. Glenn Davis will follow him. Nate Robinson, our backup point guard. We got Marquise Daniels in here, and then newly acquired Garrett Temple. So, again, not the greatest bench in the world. Clearly a lot of aging stars in this first five, but I really do think that there is a road and maybe even a path to a championship here. It could be. I don't know. Hang with me, though. I will see you guys at the end of year one here in Boston. As I suspected we might, we actually had a really good first season here in Boston. We went 60-22 on the year, and I can definitely live with that for a first season with this team. Now, I know there is a lot of talent, and clearly I haven't made many big moves yet, but I still do think this could be a championship season. I really do. LeBron James, first year in Miami, is your MVP. Blake Griffin, Rookie of the Year. Manu Ginobili. I'm going to go through these relatively quickly because it's pretty much the same goddamn people at the same goddamn awards every single first season in the LeBron Era Rebuild. So here's a full look at the standings. We are the 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. The only team ahead of us was the 62-win Chicago Bulls. We had the second best record in all of basketball. So here is a look at the stats on the season. Let's see how everybody played. Paul Pierce led us in scoring. Ray Allen was behind him. Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, Glenn Davis, Robinson, O'Neal, Perkins, Daniels, and Mr. Garrett Temple. All right, rebounds, KG, and assists, Rondo. Okay, first round, it is us in the Philadelphia 76ers. You got Drew Holiday here, very young Drew Holiday, Evan Turner, Andre Iguodala, Elton Brand, Mo Spates is here. You got Thad Young. This is a good, fun, young team. I think we're better. I really do. I don't think there's really anybody on that roster that scares me too much. So that is a quick sweep. Moving on to the East semis. Now comes a very, very challenging matchup. Us and the Miami Heat. I don't want to call them a super team, but they kind of are. I mean, I think we can all probably agree on that. But again, this big three is just so dominant and very, very scary. And I don't know which way this series is going to go. I really don't. So we're 1-1 with them right now. We go down 2-1. We go down 3-1. We fight back and win Game 5. Here in Game 6, we force a Game 7. Back to Boston for Game 7. What's going to happen? We lose. We end up losing our season in the Eastern Conference semifinals, and the Heat do go on to win it all. Holy shit. That 3-point percentage isn't quite there, but other than that, that's insane. Okay, so, we learned a lot about this season. We know we're a really good team, and we have a really good core. The only problem now is the age, and we know that's going to happen. Also, I'm very happy I traded Shaq. I knew he was going to retire. The age is definitely something that I am a little bit concerned about with the majority of this core, because again, I love the big three. But, I mean, if you look at what ended up happening, which I know is not going to happen right now, but eventually down the line, they went ahead and made that big trade with Brooklyn. They went ahead and sent Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, and I think Jason Terry was in that deal too, and ended up with the Brooklyn Nets picks. And next thing you know, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are one of the best duos in all of basketball. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen here, because clearly we're not going to get to that point. But again, I do think there's something there to maybe want me to go ahead and make that trade. And I know for a fact that Milwaukee picks top 5 protected. So if it lands at 6, this is maybe the most perfect case scenario of all time. What's going to happen there? It goes to 7. I'd way rather it go to 7 than it go to 5. That's insane. We now have the 7th overall pick for Celtics Shaq. Just mind-boggling the fact that was actually a real thing. So Doc Rivers is the coach of this team. It actually does have really good ratings. I forget exactly what year it was that Doc was fired and Brad Stevens took over, but I think we're maybe still a couple years away from that. But I'll keep Doc for now. Maybe we'll move on next season if we don't do what I think we should do, but we'll get to that point. when we cross that bridge. All right, so the 7th overall pick is definitely not nothing. That is definitely a really big pick. This 2011 draft class is very, very good. We take a look at it right now. You got Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie. I have no idea who Jason Bennett is. You got Tristan Thompson. I mean, there's a lot of good players here. Now, I don't know exactly which player I would want to draft here, but I feel like I draft Kawhi and Kyrie kind of a lot. So I might want to kind of spice it up and get somebody else today. So I might still maybe move up to number like 5 or so, but I'm going to try to avoid Kyrie and Kawhi. So hang with me on a trade. The Minnesota Timberwolves own the 5th overall selection. This is number 7. This is our first round pick from us this year, and this is our second round pick. And I'd like to move up 2 spots. I don't know if this is going to do it, but they want Nate Robinson, a 23rd. Luke Riddenauer. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that, I think. I'm not giving up any more first. You're just going to take a bunch of seconds, and you're going to like it. I don't really thank you very much. I mean, for 2 spots, it's not the end of the world. So let's just see what ends up happening here. The Pistons are on the clock. They take Kawhi Leonard first overall. Really not a ton of surprises there. Kyrie goes to Sacramento number 2. So those, I don't want to say there are 2 players we're trying to avoid, but they're 2 players I've definitely drafted a lot in these LeBron era rebuilds. So I'm happy we're mixing it up here a little bit. That's not a real person. Number 4 is Klay Thompson. He goes to the Utah Jazz, which means that we have a couple options here. And an option that I think would be really, really funny is this one right here. Jimmy Butler is a Celtic killer. He's a killer in the playoffs in general, but he's just something about Jimmy's game in the playoff, especially when I'm dialed in watching against my Celtics, that drives me fucking crazy. Jimmy, out of the players remaining, he's clearly the best option here. So, you know, Kemba Walker could be fun. Ended up a Celtic at this point in his career anyways. Other than that, you know, I don't really think any of these players are going to have significant impact. So, Jimmy Buckets, welcome to the Celtics. Can you imagine if that was the case in real life? Oh, my God. He's a 76 overall. He's clearly going to need some development, but maybe he'll be a good bench piece for us. I don't know. We have no qualifying offers, and so we enter a free agency period. It's not the greatest free agency class in the world. We have a free agent in Perk. Yeah, I mean, I think what I got to do right now is decide on what we want to do with this big 3. Or, well, I mean, I'm not counting Rondo, but you know what I mean. Now, there's a couple different ways we can go with this. We can keep everybody in core or intact, keep the entire core here, and maybe we see a little bit of regression next year, and we hope and pray that something goes a little bit better. I don't know if I want to do that, especially because KG's expiring, Ray Allen's expiring. I think I'd rather go ahead and make the hard decisions now, pull off the trades. Now, that being said, I'm not just going to trade them away for nothing. I have to be getting some good players back, but I really do think this could be like the decisive offseason of this video. Like, it really sets up the final 2 seasons. So let's work on some big trades. We're making another deal here with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it's actually a pretty funny trade. We're sending Kevin Garnett back to Minnesota, where the Celtics originally got him back in 2006-07, whatever year it was. And we're going to be acquiring 22-year-old, 88 overall Kevin Love, along with their unprotected first in 2012. So Kevin Garnett, I guess, going back to Minnesota just a little bit earlier this time, finishing out his career there. And we get a real, it's actually a Utah Jazz unprotected pick. And we get a really good young player in Kevin Love. Timberwolves Kevin Love was so goddamn good and so underrated. And I really do think that was probably the best kind of deal we were going to get. So I'm really happy with it. I think that's probably kind of the best case scenario overall. I loved KG in Boston. He's one of the legends. His numbers hanging up in the rafters. But I really don't think it was smart to keep him at age, 35 going into next year. I'm very happy about Kevin Love. So I was about to pull off a blockbuster here with the Atlanta Hawks and acquire ISO Joe and Josh Smith for Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. And then I continued scrolling through the trade finder, and this is always a really good reminder to make sure you scroll to the very end because you never know what you're going to get. Paul Pierce is going to the Golden State Warriors for Steph Curry and somebody named Ronald Turner, who is an auto-generated person making $11 million. And typically, I'd be very upset about that fact, but I'm actually not, because it's going to allow me to make this trade and get Steph Curry. Now, I have no idea what this team's going to look like because Rondo is really good and he's in his prime, but I just don't really need 2 point guards. Now, could I maybe move Steph Curry to the shooting guard spot? Probably could. What happens to the overall? Actually really doesn't change. So maybe we try out a backcourt of Steph Curry and Rajon Rondo next to each other. I have no idea how well that's going to work, but I'm very excited to see how it's actually going to play out. And then the final move is going to be Ray Allen. We all knew it was coming. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. Whoever Ronald Turner is, I need you to get the hell off this team. I'm not, it was nice to help you facilitate the deal, but thank you very much. Wow, this game's broken. So let's move on from Ray Allen. Now, again, I'm thinking for Ray Allen, what I'm looking for here is, in all likelihood, some sort of center. I don't mean any disrespect to Big Baby Glenn Davis or Kendrick Perkins, but neither of them are going to be starting for me the entire video. And I figured this one out, it just means that Jimmy Butler is going to be my starting lineup. So, how about it? How about we find ourselves a center for Mr. Ray Allen? Andrew Bogut is definitely an enticing option. About 12 and 10, it looks like. That's a pretty good deal. Anderson Varejao, maybe not as much. Got a young DeAndre Jordan here, but I've had him in a couple of videos, so I'd rather maybe go a different direction. Tyson Chandler could be an exciting piece. But we're definitely getting the offers, which is something I'm very, very happy about. Steve Nash is just 37, but Steve Nash is obviously tremendous. So I'm pretty much between either Andrew Bogut, who's 26, and putting up some pretty good numbers, is on a multi-year deal. We also get Drew Gooden in that deal. Or I'm considering this one here that will allow me to acquire Tyson Chandler. You know, the numbers aren't crazy different, but if I'm looking at not even only age, but the other pieces that we're getting back in the deal as well, I like this deal a lot here with the Milwaukee Bucks because we're also getting Drew Gooden, who I think could be a decent rotation piece for me. We got 2 years younger on Bogut. The numbers are a little bit better, and we give up a first-round pick. I think that's a pretty good deal for me. We get our center here in Andrew Bogut, and our starting five is officially complete. Just means Jimmy Butler is going to slide into the starting small forward spot. So I did not anticipate making all those big trades, but as soon as I got Kevin Love and then Steph Curry landed in my lap, I kind of had to do it. So the starting five is complete at this point in time. I still think there are more trades out there for me. You know, I don't think this team is complete by any means. What I'd like to do, we don't have any cap space, do we? Yeah, we have about $7 million. There's no other big contracts here that I can move. Well, I mean, maybe if I move O'Neal and maybe Robinson's getting $4.5 million. Wow. I think maybe I could clear up a little bit of money. Now, I don't know if I'm getting like top-end free agents if I clear up this money, but you know, it might be worth a shot. Because also, Jermaine O'Neal is 32. I think that overall will go down. So is there anybody I could actually get maybe a little bit of a cheaper option? Get Tony Allen, bring him back to Boston. I actually like that idea a lot. Okay. So maybe we didn't clear up all the money I was looking for, but we definitely have some. About $15 million. That's definitely not nothing. So let's take a look at this roster right now. We do need to find ourselves some backup guards. We have Tony Allen, who is going to be the backup to Jimmy Butler. Gooden will back up Love, and then I do need to re-sign either Kendrick Perkins or Big Baby Glenn Davis. But let's look at the guard options in terms of backup. So Mike Conley progresses very well in this game. I know that for a fact. I just don't think it's worth spending all my money there just because I know he's going to go up to like an 87, and that would be great to have off the bench, but I just don't really think it's necessary. So how about a guy like Sean Livingston? I think that'd be a good signing. Then who could I get as a backup shooting guard option here for me? Maybe a guy like Nick Young. Would be the worst thing in the world because everybody else is a little bit older. So, let's take a flyer here on Nick Young. So let's try to sign Nick Young and Sean Livingston. I think that's pretty good. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to, renounce both these guys. I am. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I'll just find a new backup center. That's not the end of the world. And my computer just shit out on me, so I will be back in a second. We've officially signed Sean Livingston and Nick Young. Now we're going to look at our options for the backup center spot. And, they're not great. You see Big Z, Zadrunas Ilgauskas here. You see Leon Poe, another former Celtic. I don't really like any of these options, so we're going to do it just the way that I know how to. It means going out and signing a guy like James Jones, and then we'll do the same thing with like Mario Chalmers. And can I get both of them? I don't even know if I can. No, I can't. All right, so we'll bring in James Jones, and then I'm going to be a bit of an asshole here, and I'm just going to go ahead and sign a couple guys and then trade them both for a backup center. So, sue me. All right, so let's see our options here. We do Parker, we do Jones, and then I'm just looking for a center of some sort. Again, like Zaza, I can get DeAndre Jordan. Really? I just don't really think, why should that be a deal? Tiago Splitter. This dude got his shit stuffed by LeBron. Zaza could be fun, and you know what? I know that maybe some of you will be mad at me for not going out and getting maybe the clear best player here in the trade finder, in DeAndre Jordan, but I feel like I do kind of get him a decent amount, so I'm going to go with Zaza. Again, if I did this by like a legitimate way, I'd probably go out and trade for DeAndre Jordan, but I just signed two guys in free agency. I'm going to go ahead and take Zaza Pachulia, so that might not be the best decision, but I do think he's still a really good serviceable center. So, yeah, man, this team has pretty much an entirely new identity. I'm very, very excited to see how it all kind of fits together. We've improved the bench. The starting lineup's a little bit younger. I'm really pumped to see how these things are going to go. So I'll see you guys at the start of year 2 here with the rotation. We are ready to roll here for year 2 in Boston. This team looks pretty much entirely different from what it did last year. 4 out of 5 starters are completely new to this team, and I'm very excited to see how this all shakes out. So Rondo's going to be our starting point guard. We made the big trade, acquired Steph Curry. We're playing him at the 2. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Maybe he's a little undersized for a shooting guard, but I think it'll be fine. Jimmy Buckets here is going to be my starting small forward. You have Kevin Love here at the 4, and then Andrew Bogut at the 5. So very, very fun starting lineup. Clearly got a little bit younger. I think we're trending in the right direction. Bench unit is going to be led by Nick Young, who's up to an 84 overall. The game actually wants him to start at the 3. Now, I'm not going to do that because I think Jimmy Butler definitely needs the minutes if I want him to develop, but I did not think Nick Young was going to jump up, 3 overalls or whatever it was. Livingston will be our backup point guard. We have Drew Gooden here from the Bogut trade. Tony Allen going to be our backup to Jimmy Butler, and then Zaza Pachulia, our backup center. So I'm excited for this season. I don't know how it's going to go. I think we could be anywhere from like a 1 seed, maybe all the way down to like a 5 seed. Really don't, because we are younger, but I think we might be better. I really do. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2 here in Boston. Just a tremendous second season for us here in Boston. We go 69-13 on the year. Nice. And I'm very, very happy about what the future of this team is going to look like. So our first maybe true test is going to be this playoff run. I think we are still young, and maybe there's still a few pieces we can swap out, but I'm very happy with this season as a whole. Derrick Rose is your MVP. Kawhi Leonard went number 1 overall to Detroit. He's your Rookie of the Year. Rip Hamilton, 6th Man of the Year. Dwight Howard is your DPOY. Ish Smith, Most Improved. And Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year at 69 wins. I'll take it. All right, so that clearly gives us the 1 seed. Here's a look at the full standings. The Bulls had 60 wins. They were right behind us. Miami's the 3 seed. Orlando, I mean, you can take a look at all these teams. We're going to have Cleveland in round 1, who had 38 wins on the year. I would hope that it is not going to be a very challenging first-round matchup. So here's a look at the numbers on the year. Steph Curry led us in scoring. Kevin Love was behind him. Nick Young off the bench. Definitely should have been in the conversation for 6th Man of the Year. Jimmy Butler in his rookie year. Bogut. You got Rondo, Gooden, Livingston, Allen, and Pachulia. Rebounds per game was Kevin Love at nearly 15 boards a game, and then assists was Rondo at 11. So as I mentioned, the 38-win Cavs stand in our way here in round 1. And if this team wins a game against us, I'll be disappointed. There's no way. And we sweep. Okay, now comes a little bit of a bigger test. We have Jermaine O'Neal, Jameer Nelson, J.J. Redick, Michael Petras, Rashard Lewis, and then Dwight Howard, who is very, very dominant throughout this time. Definitely a little bit more of a challenge. Definitely Andrew Bogut's got his hands full. So we are up 2-1 here in the East semis. They tie it up 2-2. We go up 3-2, and we are in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in this video, and we're taking on the defending champs in the Miami Heat. So big 3 is here. Looks like they moved on. Ish Smith now their new starting point guard. Joel Anthony their new starting center. This is a challenge no matter which way you want to go about it. So I guess we got LeBron and Curry at some point. It's just instead of the finals, it's the East Finals. Wow, did we go up 2-0 and then lose 3 straight? 4 straight? That sucks. Heat go on to win it all again. Dwayne Wade, your finals MVP this year. Okay, so I mean that kind of tells us all we really need to know. I mean, I think it's rather obvious that we need to, not only another year of development, but maybe another piece or 2 on the bench. We'll figure it out. Historic changes, just some jerseys and fun stuff like that. I don't think we've traded for any other. Oh my god. We fall to 4, but still, oh my god, that's insane. Doc Rivers, I'm going to keep Doc. I think his ratings are good enough. I think we've done a good enough job of putting a good team under him. I don't know if we're going to find somebody with better ratings, so I'm going to keep him. We do have the 4th overall pick, which is a little bit insane. Anthony Davis would be a super fun option. I just don't really know where he would fit on this team. I don't think I can play Kevin Love at the 3. I mean, maybe I play AD at the 5, but does Bogut really? I don't know. And I clearly have to trade up if I wanted to go get him, but it's a big decision. It really is, because I think Anthony Davis would help out this team a lot. I just don't know what I would want to do if I had to make a move here. So I might do it. I might. I really do think if I went ahead and signed Anthony Davis or drafted Anthony Davis and then maybe moved Bogut for a new starting small forward, not to say Jimmy Butler didn't play well for us, but if I really want to really carve out a surefire championship team, I really do think we might just need a small little upgrade. So Jimmy Butler could be a 6th man off the bench, whatever. He'd still be very good. But I think I might do this. I think I might. So who is the number 1 overall pick? Let's first of all find that. It is the Timberwolves again. So we're making yet another blockbuster here with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm just curious what the cost would be. That's kind of what it comes down to. So that's 4. That's 15. That's 9. I mean, take it all if you really want. I don't really need anything moving forward. No. How about one more first? I'll give up my first in 20. That's actually the Pistons first. They agree to it. All right. So Anthony Davis is going to be a Celtic. I don't know how exactly well he'll fit at the 5. I mean, he's a 5 right now, technically, right? I think he'd be fine. He's an 83 overall, so that overall is already up there competing, with Andrew Bogut. So, I mean, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. It actually goes up to an 84 at the center spot. So, yeah, I'm going to start Anthony Davis. It's insane that he's this high of an overall in his rookie season, but to be fair, he was very, 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 very good in Kentucky. So, yeah, I mean, team player option, Steph Curry clearly coming back at just under $4 million. We're going to qualify Kevin Love, and we look forward to a really good free agency class. Unfortunately, we just don't really have the money, and I also do not have bird rights on Kevin Love, but he is restricted, so we'll be able to match whatever it is. So at this point in time, I still do want to find a new starting small forward. It is absolutely nothing against Jimmy Butler. I just don't know if he can be a starter on a championship team here in the final year. So let's go ahead and find that trade. We're going to hit up the Philadelphia 76ers, the team we swept in the first round last year, and see if they'd be maybe willing to trade me Andre Iguodala for Andrew Bogut. Now, I doubt this deal would go through straight up. There's not any sort of counter offer. I do have 3 first round. Oh, wow. Okay. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. My plan right now is to have Andre Iguodala start. Jimmy's going to come off the bench, and I know he had a really good rookie year. I'm talking strictly overall. I just don't think he's going to be high enough to start on a championship team. I really don't. So Nick Young and Livingston will remain, which means Tony Allen could probably be moved right now. Maybe I can bind him in a deal with Zaza Pachulia and find just a little bit of an upgrade at one of the big man spots. So I still have to get Kevin Love back. I know that. Let's see what my offers are here. Mike Bridges, Kyle Korver. All right, so I'm looking for maybe some sort of big man. And I'm not really finding that right now. Bismack Biyombo is only 19. He's coming off a decent rookie year, but his overall is really not much higher. I see Darko here. Good God. Yeah, I mean, there's not great offers there. If I'm just looking like player finder, like power forward center for like $8.5 million, I doubt it's a very long list of like elite players. Well, actually, there's a few up here. I'm just trying to rule out the guys that I know are not going to happen. Like Millsap probably will not happen. Nene could be fun. Andre Kirilenko is here. He's 31, but he still could be a good role piece for this team. I know we still have Drew Gooden as well, so maybe I actually probably want to lean center. Hibbert's a free agent. I feel like I could play Nene at center. I don't think that'd be the worst idea in the world. So let's do Pachulia, and then I'll also go ahead and throw Tony Allen in this deal. And then how about I just give up 1 first? No. How about seconds? I'd rather hang on to that final first just in case. 1 more second. No. Okay. I'm probably going to have to give it up, which sucks, but it's probably fun. Really? Okay. Wow, I thought that deal was going to go through a little bit faster. It did not. All right, which means I'm turning my attention to maybe somebody like Marcin Gortat. Just a little bit of a higher overall than Pachulia is, and probably a little bit of a better option as well. Did not mean to put Jimmy Butler in there. Sorry this is taking so long. So how about it? Let's make a deal. Gortat. I know... Nope. Okay. I'm trying to get this done, but I don't have a lot of draft picks to give up, unfortunately. So, I don't know if it's going to be possible here with 2 seconds. It is. Okay, thank God. Which means Gortat will back up Anthony Davis. Drew Gooden is still there to back up Kevin Love once we get him back. I don't think we're going to be getting anybody that would be better than Drew Gooden. He is going to be 30. Oh, we actually don't even have the first left. I forgot. Channing Frye is my only option. 9-5 versus 8-6. This is kind of a lateral move, in all honesty. I don't think it's a significant upgrade if we were to go out and make it. So, honestly, I'll just hang on to Drew Gooden. He's going to be playing 10 minutes tonight. So, I'm just waiting for Kevin Love at this point. That's all I got left to do. He's qualified. We're going to match whatever he gets. I still don't see he has any offers, and he still has no offers. All right, I'll sit through this. I'm clearly going to match whatever he gets. I'll see you guys at the start of the final regular season. We are heading into our final regular season here with the Celtics. We've made significant improvements with this team throughout this video, and this team is 1,000% ready to win a championship. Here's how it's going to look. Rajon Rondo, Steph Curry, new addition here in Andre Iguodala, Kevin Love, and number 1 overall pick, Mr. Anthony Davis. Funny enough, the game actually wants Marcin Gortat to start over him, which is just fucking hilarious in the first place. I'm very excited, though. I think he's going to be a very, very dominant force here in his one and only year with this rebuild. Also, he's wearing Paul Pierce's number. Kind of disrespectful. Nick Young will remain our 6th man off the bench. Jimmy Butler follows him. I feel bad for Jimmy, but I really do think Iguodala is an upgrade here. It's only his 2nd season here in the league for Jimmy. I'm not trying to get into a crapshoot right now. I don't know if Jimmy Butler was good enough overall to be a starter on the team. I don't. Marcin Gortat is our backup center. Sean Livingston, our backup point guard, and then Drew Gooden at a 77 overall. 10 minutes a night, backing up Kevin Love. So this team clearly has the talent here. It's whether or not we can just go out and win the damn thing. I really do think we can do it. I'll see you guys at the end of the final regular season. We had such an insane final regular season that I can almost not even grasp how good it was. We broke the best record in NBA history. Not 73-9, not 72-10, 80-2. I don't know. Sometimes I just have insanely good records and I don't even realize the team's as good as I thought it was. wild, insane. Derrick Rose MVP, Anthony Davis is your Rookie of the Year, Andre Bucknell, way you're real. Dwight Howard is now in Philadelphia, he's your Defensive Player of the Year again. Brian Turner, really, way you're real. Yeah, 80-2. I don't know. I'm genuinely kind of shocked right now. I really am surprised because 80 wins is fun, and I've definitely done it before. I just didn't think this team was 80 wins good. So that's just 2K being nice to me today, I guess. You know, it's very rare when it happens, but I will always take it. Steph Curry led us in points. Anthony Davis as his rookie was our second leading scorer on an 80-win team. That's insane. Kevin Love, Nick Young, Jimmy Butler, Andre Iguodala, who actually scored less than Jimmy, funny enough. Rajon Rondo, Gortat, Gooden, and then Sean Livingston. Rebounds a game was Kevin Love at 15 once again, and assists was Mr. Rondo. So, us in Brooklyn, I mean, to be fair, I don't really think it should matter who we're facing. We should probably beat everybody rather convincingly. We sweep the Brooklyn Nets. We're moving on to the Pacers here. They do have Paul George. They actually added Zach Randolph. Danny Granger still here. Darren Collison. Yeah, I mean, again, with 80 wins, you don't think anybody's touching you. And we actually completely avoid the Miami Heat as a whole. So that's actually kind of nice. But we're taking on a really good Chicago Bulls team. So before I actually made the trade for Andre Iguodala, I actually tried to make one with the Bulls for Luol Deng. Now, that clearly did not go through because I didn't even show you guys it. But it would have been nice. I think it would have been a good addition to this team. But I'm happy with our core right now. But this Bulls team is definitely still a threat. So I'm not just going to sim the series because you never know. I've gotten screwed over by this game so many times, and we have still yet to lose a playoff game. Holy shit. Okay, the young, up-and-coming Oklahoma City Thunder. Our old friend, I don't know why I'm saying Jeff Green. It's because I'm seeing it right here. Jermaine O'Neal, Samardo Samuels, Lauren Folks. Is that a real person? I don't know. We finally lose a game, and it's the first game of the finals. We go up 2-1, though. We go up 3-1, and we're heading back to Boston here for a hopeful closeout Game 5. Okay, maybe not. I wouldn't have minded getting a little bit of gameplay, but it does not appear that this is going to be the game. Yeah, we're not going to win this one, so we head back to Oklahoma City for a little bit of a stressful Game 6, I will say, because we probably don't want to be in this position in the first place. When you win 80 games, I guess it doesn't matter once the postseason comes, but wow, we're going back to Boston for Game 7. If this team loses, this game is so rigged. It's not even funny. Oh my God. Hold on to the damn lead. There's no... Okay, we should be good. It's going to take 7 games, and maybe that almost feels like a little bit of an underachievement, but we're still getting a championship, and I'll see you guys in there. We're here at TD Garden in Game 7 on the verge of closing out the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm still pretty shocked about how this rebuild went. I didn't even realize that we had, 2 Warriors in Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala. And, yeah, I mean, this team is just very, very good. I think that's kind of the best way to say it. Can you imagine, like, everybody in their primes on this team? I cannot even fathom how insane that would be. I mean, this team's already insane at 80 wins, but maybe everybody in their prime is oh, that's a hard foul. Maybe everybody in their prime is undefeated. I don't know. This team is just mind-bogglingly good. So Westbrook to the stripe. He's going to take 2 right here. Yeah, this one's pretty much out of reach. So I guess we can just chat about what you guys want to see. I mean, what do you want to see? What future videos are you guys looking for? I do want to do some more challenges. I feel like it's been a minute since I've done like a really hard challenge. So like whether it's the No 90s challenge, I think I've already done that in 2K24. I'll find something to do. But yeah, I know I really, really am enjoying some of these rebuilds we've been doing. Some of them, oh my God. That would have been sick. Kevin Love gets the board. He has 33, 13, and 1 on the night. Oh, prime Kevin Love was insane. Rondo's got 8 and 20 assists. Steph Curry's got 35, 4, and 9. Oh, my God. I mean, I get it. We have 141 points. Clearly, the guys are all going to score a lot, but it's just insane to look at these stat lines. I don't even know who's going to be Finals MVP. AD's got 26, 11, and 1. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, this has been fun. This video was not taking it did not go in the direction I necessarily thought it was going to. I thought maybe originally we were going to try to hang on to the core for a little bit longer, and then I saw the contract situation on top of the fact that we all know how the 2K regression system works, and I don't know. I was maybe expecting to do it a little bit differently, but clearly we decided to go a different route, and it worked. It only did result in 1 championship, but the team was insane nonetheless. And, yeah, I mean, let's just see. What do we want to do here? Let's get a little screen action going with Anthony Davis. Inside, right to Davis. He slams it right over Ibaka. All right, man, that is going to be it. I will see you guys with the Finals MVP. It took 7 games, but it is a championship nonetheless, and Steph Curry is your Finals MVP. Steph Curry in a Celtics jersey is always going to scare me. All right, man. That was it. This was a very fun video, as I just touched upon. I think we got some players that, I don't typically get to often. So very, very fun when we're able to do a rebuild like this. And I hope you guys definitely enjoyed watching. So, just let me know any other video ideas you guys want to see. I'm always open to different ideas, new challenges, whatever they may be. I definitely do want to do a few more challenges, though. So this one was a blast, though. And I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.